Welcome to the Steve Reads His Post podcast. For those of you who are too busy or too lazy to actually read my post, I've taken on the huge effort of reading them to you. Enjoy. Dynamics 365 Business Central. Is it an SMB solution? It seems that many people are confused about where Dynamics 365 Business Central fits into the landscape. Is it an ERP? A CRM? Is it for SMB, Midsized Enterprise? Is it part of the Power Platform? At the risk of annoying my Business Central partner friends once again, I will take a stab at it. Origins. It would be helpful to know the origins of Dynamics 365 Business Central to understand how it came to its current position, and then I'll discuss its current position. Once upon a time, there was a product called Navision that Microsoft acquired. Now, there's more to that story, but that is all that is relevant here. That product, since shortened to NAV or NAV, is still alive and well and in use by many businesses around the world. Several years ago, Microsoft started their shift of business applications to the cloud, following the tremendous success of Office 365 and Azure. The first product to make that move was Dynamics CRM, and at the time it was launched as Dynamics CRM Online. Dynamics CRM was not the only business application in the stable, it was just the first to go SaaS. Other products included Dynamics GP, Dynamics SL, Dynamics AX, and Dynamics NAV, each of which were different flavors of Enterprise Resource Planning, or ERP. Enterprise Resource Planning is a pretty vague term. It could include human resources, supply chain management, sales activities, and many more. But all of these activities revolve around a general ledger in an ERP system. GL, AR, and AP are the common denominators for each of these systems, and every business must have these components. All enterprise-sized companies have an ERP, and most mid-sized businesses do as well. Smaller businesses may have an option like Xero or Quickbooks that fills this purpose at a smaller scale for simpler needs. Many mid-sized businesses are also using these simpler products, some successfully and some who have outgrown them and are considering an ERP. Darwin. Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection was not conceived for software, but similar rules apply. Basically, the strongest will survive. What was strong yesterday may not be strong tomorrow as the environment changes, and when previously strong players do not adapt, they are replaced by new strong players. This is what drove Microsoft to the cloud in the first place, seeing other players adapt and become leaders. So Microsoft adapted as well, and given their war chest, they were able to adapt very quickly to a SaaS model. But along the way, choices had to be made. One of those choices was which ERP solution would take the SaaS path. Shifting an on-premise product to SaaS is no small feat and requires a significant investment. Having 4 on-premise ERP solutions, it was obvious that not all 4 would go SaaS. Microsoft drew a line across their customer base, dividing enterprise on one side and everybody else on the other, and decided to pick one ERP for each side that would go SaaS. Why not just pick one? Well, I didn't have a vote, but I wrote about that here. Regardless, Microsoft selected AX for enterprise and NAV for everybody else. It was pretty hard to argue AX is the enterprise choice, but there was some debate about NAV versus GP. GP is much bigger in the US, but NAV is actually bigger globally, so that decision made the most sense, unless you're a GP partner. Cloudification. I won't go into the cloud journey for AX. Instead, I'll focus on the journey of NAV, which actually starts with CRM. Several years ago, Microsoft had an idea to create a specific offering for SMB called Business Edition. It would be a scaled-down version of the enterprise CRM solution, better suited for the needs of smaller businesses. Shortly into that initiative, the decision was made that this would be the best place to start the SaaS journey for NAV as well, and thus began the project codenamed Madeira. Given the SMB target segment, this was going to be positioned as a Quickbooks Xero competing product. Understand that this was well before the idea of a common data service was even on the future roadmap. By the way, another product that got its start in the Business Edition effort was Dynamics 365 for marketing. About a year into the Business Edition effort, Microsoft decided that the path they were on was not going to reach the original goals as intended, and the goals had shifted as well. CRM itself was heading down a path of componentizing its parts and separation from its platform. This ultimately led to what we now know as the Common Data Service. But what about Madeira and marketing? Dynamics 365 for Marketing continued its journey as an independent application no longer bound by the Business Edition limitations. And Madeira? Microsoft launches Business Central. Project Madeira similarly became unbound from the Business Edition limitations and was launched as an independent application called Dynamics 365 Business Central. There are a lot of side routes that this took that I won't go into here. Today, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central is one of the fastest growing SaaS business application in Microsoft's stable, a far cry from my earlier predictions that it would never see the light of day. Maybe the product owner at the time, Marco Perisic, made it successful just to prove me wrong. Nevertheless, it is on fire. So where did it go? Moving uptown. Once the Business Edition tag was removed, Marco quickly pivoted Business Central from a Quickbooks Xero compete into a product those customers could move up to as they outgrew them. While the CRM side of the house was going through a massive evolution into what we now know as the Power Platform, Marco was able to stomp on the gas pedal. Business Central was evolving at a faster pace than any other product, partly because it was in a lane by itself. Weekly updates were the norm, and the new North Star became NAV on-premise parity, a goal that I believe has been largely met. SMB might be a fine market, but this thing could go way beyond that, in some cases even standing toe-to-toe with AX for some enterprise customers. So what exactly is Business Central? What is Business Central? At its heart, Business Central is a SaaS ERP. Manage Your Financials is at the top of the product's page of capabilities. As you would expect from an ERP, it has the GL, AP, and AR core functions, but it is much more than that. Like everything Microsoft is doing in business applications today, Business Central is infused with AI. The next listed capability is automate and secure your supply chain. That sounds pretty enterprisey to me. Next up is sell smarter and improve customer service, so BC also includes some CRM capabilities. After that is keep projects on time and under budget, so we can add some project management capabilities to the list. The last item is optimize your operations for inventory and warehouse management. Clearly, this product has grown up quite a bit from its humble Business Edition beginnings, and there is a growing number of partner extensions to extend the capabilities even further. The pricing is pretty straightforward, at least in comparison to customer engagement applications. There are only 3 flavors. Essentials at $70 a user a month, Premium at $100 a user a month, and Team Members at $8 a user a month. To figure out which licenses you need, you can review the licensing guide. You can also sign up for a free trial here. From the pros. Since I'm not an expert on Business Central, I reached out to 2 guys who I know are knee-deep in the product for their thoughts. Andrew King is a partner at WebSan, a Toronto-based business applications partner. Since WebSan supports both Dynamics 365 customer engagement as well as Dynamics 365 Business Central, I thought he'd be a great guy to contrast the two. Andrew shared that there is some confusion in the market. The products are as different as golf and baseball, but we frequently see customers asking about the product that does not meet their needs, like Business Central for CRM needs or customer engagement for supply chain. Would they work? I guess if you like playing golf with a baseball bat. James Crowder is the Managing Director of Technology Management, a UK-based business applications partner. Technology Management also supports both Dynamics 365 customer engagement as well as Dynamics 365 Business Central, and has a long history with NAV. James talked about the amazing pace of innovation. I can talk to a new customer in the morning and have them using Business Central by the afternoon, which is amazing. For the right customer requirements, Business Central is a no-brainer, but not for sales workloads. There's not even a workflow capability, which is a key component for sales. What Business Central is not. Both Andrew and James agreed that while Business Central is an awesome solution, it is not really a very good sales tool. Both agreed they would typically position customer engagement for any CRM type requirements, and they often position both products for a true end-to-end solution. They both had some choice words for the sales capabilities of Business Central, and clearly neither one had any interest in activating those, but instead would bring in customer engagement for any customers looking to transform their sales processes. So I guess it boils down to what it is that you're trying to transform. If you're looking to modernize your financial processes, including supply chain and inventory, or have outgrown QuickBooks or Xero, Dynamics 365 Business Central is an excellent option, and you can reach out to Andrew or James for more guidance on that. If you're looking to modernize your sales or service processes, Dynamics 365 Customer Engagement is the clear way to go, and Andrew, James, or myself can help you explore that further. But are those the only Microsoft options? Other big and small options. If your ERP requirements are really big and include things like HR management, you might look at Microsoft Dynamics 365 for finance and operations. This is Microsoft's enterprise-grade ERP. Again, we have seen Business Central get into some pretty big businesses, but F&O is the next step up. Conversely, if your sales or service requirements are fairly basic, you may find that Dynamics 365 for customer engagement is a pretty big hammer to start with. In that case, you might want to explore Rapid Start CRM, our Power Apps-based CRM solution. It's an excellent option for small businesses or enterprise departments, built on the Power Platform and running on CDS so you can never outgrow it. Hopefully I cleared up some confusion, but if I actually made you even more confused than before, please keep that to yourself.